friends, I am Niharika. Well, a very useful skill in English is to tell a story or an anecdote. And what are anecdotes? Well, anecdotes are short stories about something that happened to you or to someone you know. Well, of course, here we are not talking about the traditional stories that begin with once upon a time there lived a king. Well, here particularly we are going to learn to convey your past events in words. Now think about the situations in which you can tell a story. When you are talking about your past to your friend, or maybe when you are giving details about a past event, such as maybe what happened during a job interview, or maybe what happened during a party, or maybe what happened during a trip. So these are all the past events that you are talking about. So of course they are stories, right? So let's see, how do we begin a story? Now before we begin to tell our story, it is important for you to link your ideas. Okay, you link your ideas, you sequence them, okay, and always keep your stories short and grammatically simple. So let's have a look how you would begin your story. Now, certain words that can help you to begin your story are firstly, first of all, or to start off with. Now, maybe you're talking to someone and you say, hey, you know what? That reminds me of me telling you what happened during that party yesterday. Okay, this is the way you'll start. Okay, maybe this is the way you'd start a conversation. And then you can say or use words like firstly. Well, firstly, we went to John's house for the party. Okay, or maybe first of all, for example, first of all, I opened the closet and removed my clothes. Or to start off with. Okay, so this gives you a start to your story. Then how would you continue your story? Words that would link your story would be then, after that, or next. So as I started my story by saying, well, firstly we went to John's house for a party and then we started drinking. Okay, so here I'm linking the story, right? Then comes interruptions or new elements that are added to your story. And the words that you can use to add new elements or to interrupt your story are suddenly or unexpectedly. How you would go about with your story? Well, firstly, we went to John's house for the party and then we started drinking. We were having a great time. Everybody was enjoying their drink, dancing, partying. And then suddenly, Amy fell off the bar. Okay, so here there's an interruption to your story, that what happened next. So suddenly, Amy fell off the bar. Maybe she was too drunk. Okay, and then how would you end your story? Because that's the most important part of the story. It's important to end your story correctly. And the words that would help you to end your story are finally, eventually, or in the end. So you can say, suddenly Amy fell off the bar and we all rushed to her. And eventually, we had to pick her up and take her to her house. That kind of spoiled our party. Okay? So this is a past event or a past event of a party that I'm describing to you guys. Okay? So this is how your story goes about. And now, let's have a look at the tenses that you use to tell your story. Now, the tenses that we use to tell a story are most commonly the past tense, but we also use present tense, especially when you are telling a joke. Okay, so usually when you are telling a joke, we prefer saying it in the present tense. Also, when you really want to give a very dramatic or a very narrative effect, you use the present tense. For example, if you are describing a scene from a movie, you can say, oh, she walks into the room and the door behind her shuts. Okay, so I'm giving a very dramatic effect to this story, and that's why I'm using the present tense. Okay, but as I said, that usually when we tell stories, we use the past forms. Okay, now we use the past simple when you are telling a story in a sequence. I packed my bags, I double checked my reservation, and I called for a cab. Okay, so I'm going in a chronological order. Okay, and that's exactly the reason why I'm using the past simple form, right? As I said, for example, I removed my clothes from the closet, I gave it to the laundry, and I picked it up the next morning. Okay, so you're going in a sequence and you're using the past simple form. Okay, then we have past continuous. Now, when do we use past continuous? When you are maybe giving a background to a story. Okay, for example, the sun was shining bright. Okay, we were driving down the motorway, and then suddenly there was a dog under a car. Okay, so here we are giving a background, okay, or we are, showing the progress in the story, and that's why you're using past continuous form. Okay, so these are the tenses that you are supposed to use when you talk about a past event. And now, of course, do remember that you're telling a story and not giving a lecture, so it's important for you to use some good words, okay? Use words such as it was amazing, or it was wonderful, fantastic, fabulous, okay? Use some nice words rather than just saying it was nice or it was bad, okay? So you can use words like amazing, fantastic, terrifying, petrifying, okay? So these are certain words that you can add when you are telling a story, okay? You can always exaggerate also, right? So as I said, that please do not make it sound like a lecture, okay? Use better words so that you can come off in a very confident manner, right? And I'm sure you'll do great. So good luck to that, and I'll see you soon in your next lesson. Till then, you take care.